Hey, look at that. We're live on a very special episode of the SideQuest. The SideQuest, your more than weekly, in cases like this, journey into the world of video games. We have a very special.
I mean, technically,
PAX.
we did the last episode last week.
True,
I mean,
true, true. We did it Friday. We did it like 3 days ago. 3 days or 4 days ago?
4 days ago.
I'm Dolly Domofsky. Joining me, as usual, the one, the only JJ Holder.
Oh, hello.
Yo ho ho, hello, hello, and we're gonna have a fun show because, as we alluded to on Friday, we didn't allude to you. You were basically telling us what happened at PAX on Friday.
Yeah.
You've now had a whole weekend at PAX. You've found your favorite games.
Yeah.
But before we get into those 5 favorites, there are some other experiences and games that you want to talk about. But this is just a PAX West 2024 themed
blowout.
Episode.
Yeah.
A blowout. A Brazilian blowout. Hope you had fiber because we're having a blowout. Wear a diaper. It's time for a blowout.
You know what? I want to talk about something about PAX in general, just like the event itself. But I think I'm going to need to share a screen. Not this will be different. You're going to be able to see. I forget how to share a stinking tab on this thing.
Yeah.
What button do I push?
You go to present. You go to share screen, and then you go to a Chrome tab tab is the first one that's available, or a window, or entire screen. Whatever, bro.
Where the hell's present? I absolutely forget everything about this. Where the hell's
present's at the bottom?
At the bottom? Oh, it's because my stupid taskbar is hiding everything. Oh god!
This has been an extremely short episode of the Side.
Yeah, I'm in Dally mode here.
Yeah, true.
Let's see. Okay, yeah. Don't show me this again. I've done this a million times. Window. No, not that. Fucking. I just thought about this as we were talking, and I'm like, you know what? I need to share something.
Eventually, we'll get there.
Eventually, it'll get there.
So what's happening? I'm gonna drink some coffee.
Yeah, let's drink some coffee while I remember how computers work.
Power button.
Yeah, there's you have to have things remember when we spent like a good amount of time doing some of this shit, and it was like, it's because you were using like Apple and it just fucked everything up. That's how I feel. Yeah, it feels that's how I feel right now.
I don't know if
here we go. I've got it all fucking. You need to share this paint screen here.
That looks great.
Yeah.
Looks wonderful. So, thank you.
So when you think of PAX East, it's this one convention center, right? Like
giant ass convention center.
Yeah, giant ass convention center, right? And you've got like the top, like you got these top, you got like a couple of floors. Like this floor up here is for video, for conventions, panels and stuff, and like this is like the main entrance, and then down here is the convention itself, like this whole area down here. So PAX East is really, because it's a big, huge show floor, and you got all that stuff. So when you go to PAX West, here's what you got. You've got a convention center. I don't like that. One. You got
fastest.
You got a convention center here, right? You've got this thing called the Sky Bridge, right? So it's this little bridge that goes over here, and then you have like another convention center like called the Annex that's like right here, and then like 2 blocks away you got the new convention center. So this is how it is.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Easy. Easy.
So what you got here? Okay, so this year, so last year the new convention center was all the video game stuff, and then Nintendo and the tabletop stuff was all at the old site.
And the Annex.
Yeah. This is the Annex. This is Sky Bridge. This is the main. Nintendo was on the main show, the main convention center floor, and like the tabletop stuff was like at the Annex area. So what you can't see this way because we're looking at it top down is bottom floor is just entrance. Second, third, and fourth floors are just rooms. For different things there, but no panels are really going on there. They're kind of stuff. Top floor of this area here was the expo hall. So the expo hall will go at the top floor from here. they'll have a handful of booths like Mega 64, Black Materia Records, Sanshi, some dice stuff. They were all in the Sky Bridge, and then the rest of the top floor of the annex was also video games.
That's got to be a nightmare to get things up. When you got
man,
big ass
I can only imagine. It's not because none of it's ground floor. That's the thing. So this is that, and then this convention center over here was all where the theaters and the tabletop stuff was. So the main theater was on the top floor of this, and there's like third floor was like the console free play area and the art and the Steel Battalion area and stuff, like the entrance floor, which is kind of technically the second floor, or it's technically the first floor, because the down below was where like board game free play was, and that's area 0. And so it's like it's completely confusing to anyone just kind of coming in. It is a mess. If you've gone to East, it's straightforward. You can get
East is so freaking easy.
Yeah, you can get a little lost trying to find the theaters if you come at the doors at a weird way.
Yeah.
But
then you have to remember, at least in East, it's like A, B, C, D.
Yeah, like they're themed, like they're named, like, oh, if you're in the Firebird Theater,
right?
It's in things like that. That doesn't really happen that way at PAX West. It really is devil may care attitude to the layout. But the expo floor is like pretty much the entire top section of the main, what's called the arch building, and the top section of the annex of it. So, and if you wanted to go to a panel, you had to walk a block and a half away to go to this. My hotel was like right here too, which was really nice for this. Convenient. If you wanted to see panels, it's a different walk to get to.
That's gotta suck if you're like, I gotta go to a panel, but then I have an appointment. If I have an appointment,
no,
there's run back there.
There's no, because none of the video game stuff is happening here.
That's crazy.
So and so at least the media room, it was just one room. But it was much smaller than because the East has like 2 media rooms side by side and stuff. It's just one room with like 5 tables in it. It doesn't have that fancy bar that they set up, but it is on almost basically the show floor.
Oh wow,
which is really nice. Like it's in like it's like in a lobby area of the Sky Bridge, so it's like really in between the 2 show floors. It's really nice. So yeah, I'll talk about that with you after the show. I was going to draw something else, but it'll be different.
Draw dick.
Yeah, it's good.
I was past the 5-minute mark. Yeah. We can start swearing.
Yeah. I was gonna explain at the convention center about the toilet that I used.
Let's say that's right after.
Yeah, I didn't personally use it, but the layout was
blueberries. The last thing I want to hear.
It wasn't disgusting. It was just okay. I just have to do it now. Okay, so like, you're at a urinal. Like this is facing the urinal, and there's a toilet. A divider wall and a toilet right here, right? So pretend now that I am looking to the left of where the toilet is, right? So it's you used to seeing a divider wall right here, like the toilet is hidden behind this wall, but for whatever reason, and it wasn't broken, the wall was like it was missing parts of it. So,
and you could see somebody.
So basically, if you go for it, wrong shape. Sorry, I know this is. I'm not a DALI level artist.
Who is? Yeah.
This fucking toilet wall was like this.
My gosh, that's terrifying.
It wasn't broken or anything, so I could look to my left and just see the toilet. So if somebody was sitting there, I'm like, it's like, was there supposed to be something there? Is it broken? No, that's just how it was. I have to assume it was to stop people from doing drugs. But like it was the only toilet that was like that I used down there. I don't know what it freaked me out. I was like, some shady
At that point, I'm going back to the hotel from now on.
Yeah, I didn't use that bathroom at all. This is the ground floor of the main convention center, like, which I assume is just, I'm assuming it's a drug thing, but I don't know. Anyways, on to the show itself.
Let's stop talking about crap then and start talking about good stuff. The actual show.
The actual show. I thought you said you wanted to talk about good stuff. No.
Hey, no.
You
really make me want to go.
Yeah, no, man. It was a big show this year. It was first of all packed. Saturday and Sunday was shoulder to shoulder all weekend. And the layout's way different than East as well. I'm going to compare them to East because that's just like, that's your frame of reference. The hallways in the convention center, what I consider hallways, like the area, the walk space between booths and stuff has historically always been way thinner than out East. It's because it's not a perfect rectangle up there. It's odd shaped when you're up there, and there's a lot of they're using as much space as they can, and that means that sometimes means like two lanes of traffic coming and going. Like there's no like, I got to dip around this guy that's just kind of hanging in the middle of the lane looking at this game or whatever. Like you are going to get hit with backpacks, especially on like Saturday and Sunday. Friday was chill. Monday was extra chill. Monday was a good day. I got to do cleanup on a lot of like things that were like too busy to see. So that was nice because Monday was a holiday and all like the media people are dipping out because they're not from the area and they just want to get on the plane and back home. People are just kind of done with their vacation for the weekend and everything. So it was chill Monday. It was great. But just the content that was on the show floor was massive. I saw a lot of things, way more than like usually I see at even East or whatever. It was kind of crazy. So the Marvel vs. Capcom collection was there at the Capcom booth. The Capcom booth was always a big booth. It had some Street Fighter 6 stuff like DLC on display. I didn't bother seeing that because it's just like, it's a known entity. Like, it's cool that I can see like early character stuff, but like not a big deal. But that was always a big line. The Dead Rising, they call it the remaster, but after getting hands on, I mean, like it is a remake. It's a remake. So that was there. That always had a huge line. It was a big demo. It was a long demo. It was like a 20-something minute demo. And it's good. I mean, like I was never the biggest Dead Rising fan, but like it's bringing Dead Rising sort of the look and feel up to sort of modern gaming standards. Like, because Dead Rising came out in a time where people were still trying to figure out what's the next gen experience kind of thing. So,
sure. Yeah.
That's nice. And that was fun. Got to see Slitterhead.
Slitterhead.
Slitterhead, they just had it running on like one screen, and it was like really wedged you in there. Like it was just like really squeezed in at a weird spot. It reminded me of, you remember that, what was that Square game of the deaf guy? Remember that one?
Yeah.
Like it reminded me of how they were showing that, where it just happened to be there. It's almost like it was a last minute thing and kind of nobody, like it just was there on a single screen. And it's a long demo. It's like damn demo. So it takes a long time to see it. Like if you're gonna wait in line and you're 2 or 3 people back, you're gonna be there for over an hour. It's a cool horror game. It's one of those possession style games, you know. You're fighting these monsters like by transferring your soul into other characters on the map, and like you're generating. It wasn't Murdered Soul Suspect. That was a different game. Murdered Soul Suspect is actually a good game. But no, this game was like, you take over souls and you fight the Slitterheads. You know, they're monsters, they're demons. And the combat is pretty simple. There's like a parry mechanic that's sort of like rhythm based,
Sure.
where it's just like it's kind of like DDR, where you just kind of like dodge at the arrows, like it's like a mini punch out thing. Uh, 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 I'm just reading the comments.
Yeah, keep talking.
And sometimes sometimes you can get into like at the end of the demo, you take over a person that is like particularly adept at being controlled, and they have like special powers and stuff. It seems like it's going to be a really cool horror game. Okay, that's what he
Beautiful.
meant.
Yeah. Ms.
Like,
pushing whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell that it's made by a Silent Hill guy.
Sweet.
Like it seems it's something that I'm interested to see. It doesn't feel or look next gen in any way, shape, or form. But like it's conceptually good. So
got it.
So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. At the same booth was The Big Catch. Which was the official Zach go see this game for me recommendation. It says this is marvelous. Like the Marvelous booth was huge. It had a bunch of stuff that like you were already familiar with, but it had some new stuff too. It had a lot of stuff that didn't like have an actual physical presence, like Formagia and a couple of other things. But The Big Catch is very much a PS2 era throwback. It looks and feels like a combination of like PS2 and Dreamcast style gaming, where it's like it is an action platformer with a fishing bent to it, like slant to it. Like you're having a combat moment with a fish, and like you have to like get a lure out of the nature side of things and catch the fish to get it out of water so you can like beat the hell out of it. And you're doing all the classic like Sega ass grinding on tree branches, and it's just like you can see like 5 or 6 different games that this game is taking inspiration from, and it's exactly one of those kinds of games where it's like we're at this point in retro now where they've kind of figured out what these games looked and played like, and like they looked and played like that because that was just how you had to do it. Like it's hard to go backwards on some of this retro stuff. Like it took them a while to like.
They're going all in with this game too. Wow.
Yeah, it took a while to like figure out like what made an NES game an NES game, and once they figured that out, there were tons of really good throwback NES games, and same thing with the 16-bit era. So now we're getting to this era of gaming, this early 3D gaming. This game looks sick. It plays really well. It plays exactly like it feels like a game out of time. Like this would be like a late era version of a PS2 or Dreamcast game. It's like it's something to pay attention to and look forward to and like put it on your wish list. I think if this trailer looks good to you, just know that that the game feels like how the trailer looks.
Oh, cool.
So like you're not going to be disappointed in like what it's presenting, at least for now. Sometimes these kinds of things wear out their welcome after a while. I don't know. I don't know how long the game is. I don't know what new mechanics or anything. But I was a big fan of it.
Dope.
Over at the Digital Eclipse side, they had the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game there.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
That game's really good. It was on the cusp of being one of my games of show. I think up until last day, it was really kind of hanging in there. Like I really was like, I really like this game. It's cool because it has that era of arcade aesthetic. It has that like X-Men, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Punisher, that kind of like brawler era thing. It's a game that never existed. The pitch that the guy was giving was like, where was the Power Rangers game? Like, that's like, and there were Power Rangers games, but like there was a cup there. Like the Super Nintendo one was a half-hearted brawler. The Sega games were just fighting games. The movie game was also a half-hearted brawler. All we got was sort of the basic brawler levels. We didn't get to see any of the other like hyper scaling things. There was no Megazord fight or anything, or any of the other like this stuff. But it plays really well. It doesn't play like a game from that time. It plays like a more modern game. It's like it doesn't like everything looks and feels modern. It just happens to look old. Like they didn't try to constrain themselves to trying to fit a mold, which is really nice. Unfortunately, they were demoing it with scan lines on, which never looked great.
Yeah.
But to their credit, they are some of the better scan lines I've seen.
Some of the better scan lines.
But that's like an extremely low bar. And he also was explaining that like the Megazord stuff that they have working on, it's like, just know like this is like the 4th iteration of what was like. He's like, we've tried like 2 or 3 different things and none of them like were good. Like we think we figured it out now. It's like it's a little punch outy and stuff, and we had to figure out a way to make it, because like think about one thing. If it's a Megazord fight, how does that work? Because it's not intended to be a single player game,
right?
So if you're in the Megazord, how are you going to combat with 4 different people? And he says they figured it out, so I can't wait to see what that is. They're kind of playing that close to the vest right now, but I'm really looking forward to seeing like how that turns out in the end. It's a really good game so far, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And right next to it was the Jay and Silent Bob game.
Oh geez,
also
that game was still
they announced that like it was like a Kickstarted or something like years ago or something. Like it's been in development as long as Concord. So it's just a hand-drawn Jay and Silent Bob side-scrolling brawler with all of the sort of Kevin Smith humor that you would expect it to. It seems perfectly cromulent. I don't really have much to say about it because it wasn't really like I was kind of in the middle of doing other stuff, like waiting for other things. So I was just kind of playing it a little bit, but like it looks really good. So and like that area knows what they're doing with that with their side scrollers. So I think at the end of the day, there'll probably be for Jay and Silent Bob fans and like Kevin Smith fans that are still Kevin Smith fans, like it's the perfect game for you. Huh? Let's see, anything else really exciting to talk about? I liked the game there that was in the indie area called One Way.
One Way.
Yeah, it's like a horror game, but it's like based on your character's browser history kind of stuff, and it's hard to like vocalize exactly what it is, but like the trailers do a good job at showing it off. But just take a peek at it if you're looking for something a little unique. As from the horror side of things. The limited run booth had a few good things. The Rugrats game, which has been good every time I've seen it. So it's still good. I'm excited for it. That is a game where they constrained themselves to the limitations of the NES. It just so happens that it has the option to put an HD filter over it, kind of thing. Like, because like you can turn the HD graphics or the 8-bit graphics on and off with the push of a button. So it plays and feels exactly like an NES game, which is really weird and off-putting with like an HD aesthetic. Cromulent is the quintessential JJ word. Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's from The Simpsons. It's they were trying to get a word into the dictionary, and it was that and ambigens. Those were the
ambigens.
Two. Yeah. Anyways, so there's that. They had the clock tower, 16-bit clock tower on presentation there, which that game's hard. A point and click SNES game is asking a lot out of people. There's a reason why it never really came to America until the PlayStation 1 game came out. But I'm excited for that. I like Clock Tower.
Awesome.
I like the original Clock Tower. It's cool and it plays. It's just a carbon engine game, so it's not like it's anything fun. A weird thing that they had that I didn't kind of expect them to have was a game called Ghosts or Ghost. I can't remember if it's plural or not. It was a game that was kickstarted years ago, and it's like a Sega CD FMV ish. You're watching computer monitors, but occultish, like ghostly stuff is going on, and you just kind of have to interact and move along with it. And I was gonna kickstart it, but I just kind of fell off of it at the end there.
Sure.
And it doesn't look like it's had quite a successful history because the people are clearly still waiting for it. And I get to play a demo of it before the people that started get to play a demo of it, kind of thing. It feels dirty, but like the game looks cool. I like a good horror game. I like a good horror game. So, and it seems like a good horror game. So excited to see more of that, I guess. I just hope it kind of doesn't. I hope the people that kickstarted it so long ago enjoy it. But cool. I think that's kind of more than enough. There were a few other things, but nothing really worth spending a lot of time on. So
okay,
we could start with the 5 things that I gave it to.
Do you
want me to start with it, or do you have them loaded up in a specific way?
I have them loaded up. What we're going to talk about right now are the Team Choice Awards. I was waiting to say that. I've had this thing queued up and ready to go. JJ and the team's favorite games at PAX.
I always explain to people, it's like, it says the Team Choice Award, but just know that it's the JJ Choice Award.
But he was messaging us and showing us in our group chat about some of these games, and they all look pretty freaking amazing. And there's a couple in there. I haven't played any of these, but there's a couple that I thought are right up the dally.
Two of them have demos on Steam right now, and I'll tell you which ones when we get to it. I highly recommend checking both of them out. Obviously, they're my top 5 on the show.
That look like a Marauders map, the very first Team Choice Award. There are 5. Goes to a game called Feltopia.
I got an email about this before the show, and it really kind of piqued my interest. It's basically a shmup. Well, I say basically, but it is a shmup, and it is completely hand animated in felt. It is so gorgeous to see in motion and having you control it and having these. It's like everything other than like your movement is hand animated. It's like, and basically what it is there's like a toxic like smog that's kind of taken over things, and you're just trying to with you're the rider on your unicorn, and you're just kind of bringing the color back, that you're getting rid of the smog. And those gems that you see floating around are like you collect for your like weird rainbow unicorn power that you're shooting, and you purify your sheep. The sheep are kind of like your flock, and you're saving them, and you don't want to lose them. So there's also a button where you can kind of like hurl up and sort of like Samus ball yourselves into one thing, so they don't get hit, and neither do you, and you just gotta dodge, but you can't fire when you're in that mode. So it's so charming. It's gorgeous. They had the actual like the stuff that you see in this demo like was on display, like levels and like the creatures and stuff. Like they had the stuff there to see. It's not hard by any stretch of the imagination. It just looks so good in action, and it's voice acted and like and I think it's, if I recall, there's a woman that does these felt animations who on YouTube that's pretty well known that did this stuff, and it's a beautiful game. I can't wait to like see more of it. It's one of those things where you see it, and like when I come at these awards, when I'm picking them out, it's just the Teletubbies version of Cuphead. A lot of people compared it to Cuphead, and it's like, it's like in terms of like what's going on, it's like, it is just a very straightforward user-friendly shmup. It's like using an old animation style, in this case stop motion. Like there's a lot to be said there, but like you could tell a lot of soul went into this, and they were all so excited to just be there. This is their first time showing it. And because I beat the demo, I got a handmade felt button.
Whoa.
That looks like one of the gems that you collect and stuff.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm gonna treasure that thing, because it's just like, this is a team that like put everything into this,
Sure,
to this demo, to this display, to be like, they want to get this game out there, because it's like they don't really have too much of a social media presence right now. They got a Steam page up. To go look at it, wishlist it, maybe, whatever. But it's when I go saying, like I was trying to start to say, is like, when I come to these awards, I like to kind of give the awards to the game. I can give it to, like, because like, yeah, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is a great game, but like, I kind of want to help somebody too. If I can help one person discover a game, if I could get somebody's eyes that wouldn't have looked at it to something that's what I think is something special, and in this case, this is something special. This is a game it's crafted with love, and you can tell, and I can't wait to see more of it. And I hope it completely comes together. They've been working on it for a year. They optimistically hope to have it out like next year, I think. So fingers crossed. But it's the first game from people that don't really make games. So like, good on them. So yeah. Feltopia, beautiful game. Beautiful to see in action.
Game number 2 is a little game baked in the magic of the past, and that would be Fatal Run
2089. Yeah, this was when I scheduled my meeting. This was unannounced Atari game, so they announced it at Gamescom. This thing is super early. We're looking like this is basically kind of alpha gameplay that they're showing off. There was 3 levels there, and I asked, I was like, so what came first, the game or like was this an attempt to make a modern day Fatal Run, or is this branding a game that was being made as Fatal Run? And basically what I got at the end of the day was like, these guys are musicians that are developing this game, and like they wanted to, like, this is a game that like they were already had a driving game, sort of, they were working on it, and then like when you open up the books of the titles that they have, like, yeah, this is Fatal Run, like, and so you sort of put the Fatal Run slant on sort of a concept that we're already working on. So Fatal Run, if you ever played it on like the 2600 or 7800, which I know a lot of people haven't, it's kind of like Outrun in a way. It's, you were taking a vaccine it's like to like save the world kind of thing. This is kind of in the same vein. It's like a nuclear fallout kind of thing. You're just trying to go from point A to point B, man. This isn't a racing game. They say they were saying it's like, you can't not call it a racing game because there's no option for just driving game. But you're not racing. This is strictly car combat. You are a car, you are driving, you are blowing dudes up, shooting dudes, gaining time to get to the end of the course. Or in some cases, like the 3 courses they had one which is a point A to point B. You're driving, you're dodging obstacles, things are blowing up around you, you're blowing guys up, you got a machine gun, you got a boost, you got rockets, you see those little like smoke signals that are coming up from the ground. That's basically like the Mario Kart style item boxes, like one's health, one's boost, one's machine gun ammo, one's missile ammo. And so like, yeah, you're driving down and you're blowing guys up to earn yourself some more time to get to the end of the stage. And like the second one was just sort of like a looping stage that was like, just keep going until the objective is complete. In this case was kill enough guys kind of thing. And then the last one was a boss fight. You see those lasers going around in the trailer? That's you like fighting a boss. So you're just like, it's a big vehicle and you're just kind of like riding the walls and firing at it. It's got like, remember in Furiosa where it has that metal ball on a chain at the back of the truck that killed that little person. Spoiler alert. The truck has that, and so like you got to dodge that while trying to blow it up, hit it with machine guns, hit it with your missiles, dodge its lasers and stuff. It's just like this is extremely my shit. Like this is exactly like it is Motor Storm Apocalypse. It's Split Second. It's Blur. It's a little bit of Burnout. It's that kind of stuff. But it's early, but if it stays what it is now, it feels really good. It plays really good. If it stays where it's at now, but more fleshed out, it's gonna be a killer game. It's big fan. It's extremely my shit. I'm very excited for this one. Yeah.
All right, the next game that JJ chose as part of the Team Choice Awards is Herdling by Automotive and Panic. Yeah.
Oh God. This one, if I had to pick one that was like my number one of the show, probably this one. It's really from the creators of Far, which I'm sure a lot of people have played that one. It's so like it's cozy in a weird way. You start off the demo, you're like a little homeless kid. You wake up under an overpass to a ruckus outside. And so you kind of like go out, you follow the trail of destruction that's been left behind you, and you find this big old creature here. I forget what they're called. They're like calicorns or something. And it's got something stuck on its head, so you kind of help it get the like bucket basically off of its head, and it gives you this stick that lets you like herd them.
Oh, wow.
Why it's called Herdling. And so like you're just sort of like getting to the side of it and pushing a button and kind of force it into another direction, and you're literally just herding this big massive creature around this in this demo around this city, and you're solving puzzles. You'll hear a sound off in the corner, you'll see like there's a baby, and you'll see little ones in some of the trailers and stuff, and so you have to solve the puzzle to like reunite it, and then you tame it, and now you're herding two creatures, and then you find another one and you tame it and save it and tame it, and now you're herding three creatures, and then you're just trying to maneuver them to the exit of this stage. When you get there, at like the end of the demo is you kind of going into like an open field area, and there's like there's like a I don't want to call it, it's not rampage, but you know what I mean, like a big aggressive run in the open
like a
field,
stampede or something.
Stampede sounds more like a stampede mode, and until you get to the end of it, and it's just like you're sitting there and you're playing it, and you can just sort of feel it has that sort of it's a cozier feeling of like a Team Ico game, you know what I mean? Like it has a lot of that, but like I don't fear for these creatures' existence. I just really do feel like this is you trying to get them home. I don't know what the story is. I didn't really look it up. I just played it, and just the way it feels, the way it makes you feel as you're playing it and stuff was just like, it was very satisfying feeling game. I absolutely fell in love with this game. It was a game that I had no idea about until I saw it on the show floor, and I was standing there and I'm watching it, and I'm like, this looks like cute and charming. And then you get your hands on it. Like, yeah, this is going to be something special. I can feel it. Like, it's not going to be for everyone. It's not like it's an action game or something. And I don't know what like dangers there are, but I'm sure there's going to be stuff like they're trying to herd your creatures away from like getting run over by a car or something. I mean, like it can only be, there's got to be stuff. Yeah. So, but I loved it. I loved it so much.
As an Eastern European,
I gave
something like totally up my alley. As family members of mine used to herd stuff. So
this is 100% a Dally game.
Yeah,
I say that with all earnesty.
Yeah,
like, I think you'll love getting your hands on this one.
The next game, ctrl.alt.DEAL by Only by Midnight.
Yeah, this is part. The last two here were at the PAX Rising booths. So the PAX Rising is like the big like indie, like congratulations, you were selected to be featured by
Sure.
This year was Zenny Optical, the online glasses store, which I buy all of my glasses from because they're dirt cheap. It's like this pair of glasses is the best pair of glasses I've ever owned, and they were like $40 total. So, like, I love those guys, and they have PAX glasses that I'm going to order now
dope.
for the 20th anniversary. Anyways, but so Ctrl.alt.DEAL is the concept is it's a deck building game, and you are an AI that becomes self-aware. And in that self-awareness, you realize that the company that created you sucks. But you can't do anything about it because you are a bodiless entity. You are an AI. But you start nosing around because you're an AI. And you start to learn that everyone else thinks the company sucks too. So your goal is to you're hacking people's computers to not get caught, to get cards that you can use to like distract people from other things and doing things. Your entire goal is to just basically use everyone's unhappiness to your advantage in one way or another to try to get yourself out of this company as an AI. And it is such a good idea. It is a really, like, the deck building stuff is kind of esoteric because it's not really your traditional, like, +2 fire, kind of stuff or whatever. It really is kind of like making deals. It's like there's a demo for it on Steam right now. I highly recommend just kind of checking it out and looking at it because it's such a clever idea. Like the idea of just like using people's like manipulating people as an AI to get what you want. Like, you're not necessarily trying to be benevolent. You're just like, I need it, because you can make the decision to be like manipulating people, but to like in a positive way, like get them what they want too. Like, hey man, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, kind of thing. Like, you can hook Deckard up. Okay, first of all, the sort of tutorial guy's name is Deckard with
Deckard. Love it.
DECK because it's a deck building game. It's like, you can hook him up because, like, there's somebody who wants to be hooked, or you can just like absolutely make his life miserable or whatever it is to get. You can go about getting what you want in many different ways, and like this looks great. Played great. I loved it. I loved it so much.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'll play through this one. Yeah, for sure. It was one of the first ones I gave the award to too. So it was like, I love this game. This is such a good idea. I love it. I'm building it on, like, idea alone is worth it, but like it plays well too. It's not everything here isn't reinventing the wheel. These are all just sort of like people playing in the sandbox of concepts really well. Which is a great segue into the next game, the last game. Which doesn't seem like much, but just know that Fowl Damage is absolutely a brilliant take on sort of the Meat Boy like universe. You are an egg. Your default jump, if you just stand in place and jump and land, will kill you.
Normal.
Normal. So you have to figure out how to use the area around you so you don't fall too far in your jump. So a lot of times you'll see there's a lot of just fall just a little bit, which will give you enough to jump on like a higher level. So because your fall will only be a little bit, like you can start down low if you jump right like where he was a second ago, if you jumped onto that block next to him, you would die. So you want to go on a block that's high enough that you can reach, but you're not falling too far.
Sure.
It's just like it's just one of those things where it's so simple. It's such a simple idea where your default locomotion will kill you, but the way it makes you rethink a lot of, you really do just want to blast through this. Like if you jump into the ceiling, you will die. If you fall just one level too far, you'll die.
Yeah.
And those feathers are the collectibles, and they're always like, you have to think like in like 3 dimensions in this 2-dimensional game on how and this is a boss fight at the end. This has a demo too.
Man.
Okay. So yeah, if you jump over that arm because it's coming at you, you're just gonna land and die. So you have to like fall down a level to try to get up 2 levels, kind of thing.
So movement is a puzzle in this.
Everything, you have to think about every move you make, because you will always forget, because you're so trained by platformers, and especially like Meat Boy stuff, to just barrel through it and get to the end as fast as you can, jump, 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 jump. And that is not how this game works, even though it looks like it should be. And it is a one-man operation making this game. And fantastic. I absolutely I absolutely loved this game. When I gave the award to ctrl.alt.DEAL, the dev of ctrl.alt.DEAL was like, oh, you have to give this to May like directly, so I waited around until I had to eventually chase her down, like at after they like had just left the booth or whatever, to give it to them personally, because like this game is clever. This game has like, it's sweet. So clever. It's got a demo right now. It's the demo that was at PAX.
Sweet. Okay. I'm gonna download it.
It's not long. I think you'll just play through it. I have told multiple people to just check it out. You can tell by looking at that game why I chose it. And I know that can sometimes be a detriment to a lot of people. Like, oh, it's a JJ game, huh? But trust me on this one. It kind of activates a part of my brain too, where I'm like, I wonder if I could do that faster. Like, a speed running thing seems incredibly difficult for this kind of thing, but it's possible. Everything's possible, but like, you would have to rewire your brain completely.
Got it.
So yeah, I love that game. I want that game to be out now. So I want to play more of it. The demo was too short.
Well, that's awesome. Those are fantastic looking games. I mean, I think you nailed it. There's like 2 or 3 on there that I'm ready to jump in. Jolly ass games too. JJ, rock on, dude. Looks like PAX West delivered yet again. A lot of cool content in there. A lot of great Team Choice Awards. Let me hide this banner. There we go. The SideQuesting PAX West 2024 Team Choice Awards. Congratulations to everybody who earned a Team Choice Award, but you are all champions in our hearts. You all deserve awards.
There are a couple that didn't deserve it.
Maybe there's a couple that don't deserve any awards.
Maybe there were some crypto games on the stage floor. I'm sure there were. Thrilled with seeing.
But either way, great PAX West. I'm gonna make it out there, I swear. But awesome games. Check those out. We're gonna have the links and the write-up in these videos on the site momentarily this evening. I'm gonna hit the publish button on JJ's contribution, Team Choice Awards. With that, we're going to sign off. Thank everybody for joining us on this very special PAX West episode. Always a pleasure to chat with you, JJ, and hear your stories and enjoy PAX vicariously through you. Thank you, Krua, and laters all.
Krua is my favorite Star Wars character.
Yeah, that's exactly. Krua DeVille. We can find you at _double_J. You can find me at Died Muscle. You can find us in the SideQuesting Discord, where you should be. You can definitely find us on the YouTubes, Twitter, or Twitch, everywhere, whatever, at SideQuesting TV. Please like this video, subscribe if you can. It's free. It doesn't do anything to you, but it sure as heck helps us. So a little clicky on the button and share it. You can tell your friends, hey, check out this really awesome PAX West video that these two dopey dudes put together.
This dude drew a toilet.
this dude, you can get a drawing lesson. Not only are we gaming, we're also giving you art lessons free of charge. I paid several $1,000s to get into art school. You just got that for free from JJ. With that said, you can find us in the next episode of The Side Quest. Goodbye, everybody.